Mm. Good day, everyone. It is a privilege and honor to be invited to discuss a specific topic that is very relevant nowadays. We are in the 21st century, and the changing landscape in the healthcare system is very much recognized. Innovation is indeed part of every aspect of healthcare in the country. However, it sets some limitations basically on the source of funds and probably trainings for competent individuals. But this may not set a barrier because as this topic is already integrated in the BSN curriculum so that we could prepare future professional nurses who will definitely be engaged in innovation and transformation through nursing informatics. There are some gaps, certainly, that we consider when it comes to data analytics. This certainly are presented whenever we have issues and challenges in the profession. When we're about to identify the number of nurses who are working in the country and even abroad, there are still numbers that may not be identified basically because of the fast pace uh, of nurses who are staying in the country and going abroad. The number of patients who are occupying various healthcare facilities and resources that are needed across the country so that to meet the universal healthcare. With the topic innovation in nursing informatics, leveraging big data and analytics for better care in the Philippines, as what I have mentioned, is very relevant because this will certainly consider how our country will definitely align our initiatives and programs specifically with the prioritization of funding. I will be your uh, discussant for this morning who will definitely explore and hoping will engage on how our future healthcare professionals will be part on the contribution to the society through nursing informatics. But first and foremost, I'd like to extend my courtesy to the administrative officials, our dean, and program heads of the St. Bernadette Lourdes colleges, and to our course facilitators of nursing informatics, and to our group of students, most especially to the group who are definitely engaging in this topic and invited yours truly to share the expertise. It is very important to consider how we will be directed to basically analyze what innovation is all about. And for this uh, morning, we engage ourselves into the various learning objectives. By the end of this session, participants will be able to, number one, explain how big data and analytics are transforming nursing practice and healthcare delivery in the Philippines. We all know for a fact that during the time of the pandemic, we have considered a habit to be updated every 4 o'clock in the afternoon through the Department of Health. Basically, on the presentation of the number of cases, the number of deaths, the number of new cases through the tracking applications. This mechanism has brought us to realization on the importance of the big data and analytics because this has been the basis on how the government will move forward on its strong initiatives in mitigating during public health emergencies. In the implementation of the universal healthcare, big data and analytics are very significant, most specifically with the health human resources. We have the Department of Health, which are responsible on identifying human resources that are needed throughout the country. And as we go on with our discussion, this will definitely be identified on how the Philippines and the government, even the Department of Health, gear towards innovation and transformation to the various applications and even programs that are technology driven. The next learning objectives that are set through our discussion for today is to identify the key national initiatives supporting digital health, interoperability, and data driven decision making. Nurses are the ones with clinical decision making that will set the four phases of healthcare delivery system: the promotive, the preventive, the curative, and rehabilitative aspect certainly be of high importance so that we could be more updated, we could be more efficient in the management of available resources. Data driven decision making will set a tone on how this will be significant in the enhancement of policies. If you will remember also during the public health emergencies, every week there are new information that are being addressed that has been also the reference to enhance those policies to have a strong mitigation of the spread of the infection. In various ways, we could consider also strengthening and empowering our manpower. Trainings are very important for us to engage ourselves in the realization of the implementation of various programs. Department of Health has the KMITS, the Knowledge Management and Information Technology System, which set those projects and initiatives that will uh, pursue the reinvention of how these programs will be cascaded all over the country. The third learning objectives that we set is analyze current statistics related to digital adoption, informatics competencies, and health system performance. Moreover, with almost 60 to 70% of nurses that compose every communities and every healthcare facility such as the hospital, statistics are very important, specifically on how also nurses will use this data through the expected skills competencies. Most of the hospitals have already adopted the hospital information system. And through this information, even doctors who are just on their way going to the hospital facilities are already engaged in the active participation to meet the needs of those patients during emergency cases. And this proves that evidence based practice still be possible through the use of the digital health. Teleconference and telemedicine are the living proof of why this has been very effective even nowadays. AI, virtual assistants are somehow the emerging trends on how nurses will be involved. Current statistics may cause specific recommendation so that it will gear towards actions and urgencies from the local government to the national level and even global to the World Health Organization. Thus, on the fourth objective that we have is certainly on the discussion of opportunities and challenges for nurses in applying big data in clinical, community, and administrative settings. Opportunities could be uh, the outcomes of those challenges because we see challenges as to transition into positive outcomes. And nurses are the ones who are immersed in various settings such as hospitals, communities, and even taking the administrative roles of leading the communities to embrace the technology, specifically on the aspect of nursing informatics. Now, as we proceed with the discussion of nursing informatics, we will have a video presentation that will consider our realization that trends and evolution in the changing landscape of healthcare system is very much significant, moreover, with the participation of nurses.
This is Maria and her partner, Ruben. Before their day even starts, they are providing a detailed snapshot of their health and wellness to their network. Maria slept great, but Ruben, who has a history of depression and anxiety, tossed and turned all night. Data from his neuroendocrine system shows a spike in cortisol. That may be a sign that he could be headed for a significant depressive episode. So, before he's even awake, his network has placed time in his busy schedule that day to talk with a virtual therapist about ways to reduce his stress. 20 years from now, radically interoperable data and open and secure platforms will allow consumers to own their own journey of health, providing them with a holistic, real-time view of themselves and their environment. A system in which personalized experiences that are highly tailored to one's preferences and needs are the norm, not the exception, and where care and services can be accessed quickly and seamlessly. Consumers are increasingly willing to share their personal data through wearable technology, smart appliances in the home, and even with the home itself. This vast pool of data forms the basis of their personal health profiles so that changes or deviations can be detected and addressed immediately. This information empowers consumers to take control of their well-being in ways that were impossible in the past, whether it's proactively heading off depressive episodes for Ruben or getting Maria her time-released antihistamine well ahead of a high-pollen day. This data also provides more opportunities than ever to glean novel insights into the health of entire communities and to enable research and scientific breakthroughs at a rate that will only increase exponentially as technology continues to evolve and to integrate into our daily lives. Tailoring care individually based on ever-advancing capabilities to capture, interpret, and act on near-perfect data in real time is a radical change. This change will require a complete rebuild of today's healthcare system and the collaboration of several actors, some old and many new. Those with deep roots in care delivery must ask themselves how they can use data and technology to transform what well-being and care delivery means. Players in the health ecosystem will include non-traditional ones. For example, those focused on the data platforms and tools that enable this new model of health. And regulators, financiers, and intermediaries will all play a new role in this new vision. Disruptive thinking and a commitment to emerging technology are more important than ever before, because the future isn't as far off as it seems. In fact, it's at your very fingertips.
The future of care is just within your reach. And there are three aspects that we realize in the video presentation. It is on the high independence for our patients, accessibility of services, and the third, it is empowerment for both nurses and patients. One major questions along or across this topic is certainly why big data matters in nursing. Big data usually provides population level insights. It supports care coordination and enhances clinical decision making. Even in a remote teleconference and telemedicine, clinical decision making can already provide those answers that is within your gadgets, your laptops, and even through various web sources. Philippines' increasing digital health adoption boosts the potential of analytic-driven nursing practice. It is basically on how nurses will maximize available applications and will set these processes as part of the system of every healthcare facilities. Actually, when we talk about acceleration, during the pandemic, it accelerated already telehealth, electronic medical records, and even system-wide digital transformation. And this has been according to the bworldonline.com. Through these opportunities of the public health emergencies, with the established system in the hospitals and even in communities, this will consider how nursing informatics in the Philippines will consider alignment from education to practice. And with the state of nursing informatics in the Philippines, it considered that nursing informatics education remains misaligned with global standards as research gaps, cybersecurity, standards, and even project management. This is according to Acta Medica upm.edu.ph. The research gaps, cybersecurity, and training gaps, hoping that the government will set a priority on how our health human resources will be trained and take part on the execution to bridge these research gaps. Even Filipino nurses demonstrate expert level informatics. That is how the world recognize our competencies other than with our values driven nursing care. Almost 84.16% fall within proficient and expert zones because we all know, and all of you will definitely agree, nursing students, nowadays you have your self-paced searching on how you will use AI, how you will use applications to bring satisfaction for you to have quality outcomes. But remember, competency is positively influenced by graduate studies. I truly agree that whenever you earn the BSN degree, hoping you will leverage your skills through enrollment in graduate programs, which SBLC is also providing. It is also very important to consider the access to hospital information system. However, there are still limitations. You are aware of what is hospital information system because it is being taught in the lecture. But once you need to be immersed in a real scenario or setting in the hospitals, the limitation comes in because of data privacy, confidentiality. In education, hoping in the informatics lab, you will consider the use of various programs and application that will immerse our students in a simulation so that to for the students to appreciate and have the hands-on encoding of information and appreciate as well to translate it into the acquisition of psychomotor skills. It is also very important that competency is positively influenced by the length of clinical experience. That's why if we will consider and review the how the change of behavior is very important. Whenever this will promote learning, barriers include lack of technical support, inadequate training, and absence of automated systems. Not all parts of the country, even the geographically isolated disadvantaged areas, have these resources. And hoping that this will bring into a point of the position for prioritization by the legislators in the lower house and even in the Senate. How the Philippine healthcare digital transformation have been identified even pre-pandemic or during the pandemic period. It is almost considered that the healthcare digital transformation started CHEATS. CHEATS is one of the program that has been introduced by the Department of Health KMITS in 2004. RxBox is also a flagship program of the DOHK MITS so that to facilitate public health needs in most of the health centers to gather the information whenever the patient will be in various areas in the country and can still access the information. However, the gaps, the change in leadership, the fundings are those consideration why it did not continue. Because basically, the change in leadership may not consider it as a priority, and that has an implication with the funding. Almost 77% of the country has internet coverage. 85% of the population accesses the internet regularly, even individuals from the child up to the older persons can access eventually to internet, have their own gadgets. Usually, this will consider that as what I have mentioned, the 85% of the population that access internet regularly, which is very critical for the telehealth and digital care expansion. This is according to the pchrd.dost.gov.ph. However, the University of the Philippines, Manila, have considered digital health innovations, which I have mentioned the Cheats in 2004 and the RX Box in 2007. The PCHRD and the DOST uh, have considered this as an initiative. Even they have also envisioned its roadmap that will definitely support community health data and remote diagnostics. And during the time of the pandemic, the COVID-19 accelerated the adoption of telemedicine, electronic medical records, and mobile health applications. If you can remember, we have human trackers for those who are infected of COVID-19. But because of the risk, the Department of Health have released a tracker application so that individuals can just encode information and will translate and consolidate it into one data analytics. On the perspective of why policy and infrastructures are very important, because we are considering nursing informatics as one of the key aspects in the implementation of Universal Healthcare Law, which is the RA 11223. Um, in the Universal Healthcare, it considered the National Health Data Repository or the NHDR. It is supposedly will require all health entities to submit standardized health data to PhilHealth. We all know in health financing, this will basically support each individual with their needs, that they may not have any hesitancies to access for the services in each level or in any level of healthcare facilities. This could be supported by the policies on interoperability standards, which may consider how this will be embedded in every healthcare institution. Integrated health information systems, hoping in both community level, in the hospitals, and in special hospital facilities. We considered also data submission guidelines and processing guidelines as these policies are to basically strengthen the national data integrity and analytics capacity. This is according to the philhealth.gov.ph. Remember, when the government calls for a national ID so that each individual may have their own ID numbers, this could be easily used to access the records. But again, the the funds are still on the top whenever these programs may continue or probably may be supported of any change in the leadership. There are some case studies that we could probably consider as part of these situations of nursing informatics in the Philippines on the use of the big data and basically analytics. Some of those that has been proven that nursing informatics have reached accordingly the efficiency level for our nurses and the healthcare team. Number one is related to the PhilHealth claims. The PhilHealth claims data, which is 73 million observations, used to evaluate all case rates, which provider payments, coverage, utilization, and financial protection, informing reforms and potential models. This will certainly consider that in the increased number of cases, it may need possibly a change in the policy for its coverage. Remember, there are reiteration now in the PhilHealth that the YAKAP program will be extended through the dental services, through the uh, services of the optometrists, diagnostics, within reach on the community level. And these are the translation and benefits of how the PhilHealth data will certainly give us analysis on how we will change the landscape for the better services for our Filipinos. Another is we have Herdin. Herdin has been the repository on how we consider the AI, okay, the AI to search related studies that will be significant on managing some of the health concerns in issues, even healthcare systems. Automated encoding by those literatures, dramatically improve process of research documents, enabling scalable and searchable national health research data, certainly help our government and even the Department of Health when it comes to priority. It can already identify that if there is a rising case and may declare a specific endemic or a specific area that will need to have a declaration as well as the state of calamity. This will certainly consider how Filipinos are very productive in terms of solutions and alternatives. It is also very important that whenever there are new trends and emerging health problems, predictive analysis for disease monitoring is very important. Just like there are some analytics from electronic health records that may predict endemic diseases such as dengue, identify high-risk populations, and guide targeted interventions. This is according to medico.ph. The government can already, if the government or the city health offices can already access for this information, then the reference of this data will certainly translate into the allocation of fundings, that just only for purposes of attending to those individuals who may need those services, but also to add funds to support manpower. We all know for a fact that we have the supposedly ratio that every community, and it has been indicated in the Universal Healthcare Law that one barangay must have one nurse. But somehow, there are situations in the country, even in geographically isolated disadvantaged areas, that one nurse is serving two to three communities. The lack of medical doctors in the health centers are very significant on the possible delays of these services. What could be the big data, or what could be the drive that it will cause clinical improvements? In clinical improvements, very important yung early detection and diagnostics. There are big data driving clinical improvements that even mobile diagnostic centers can access the communities. And this happened during the time of the public health emergency or the pandemic. Enhanced diagnostic accuracy, even digital results can be also be sent to the patients, to the doctors, and they could already send their treatment plan and pharmacological management for the patient, even the doctors are not on site. This could be patterned as a recognition of electronic health records data. This basically improve treatment decisions by analyzing medication effectiveness and trends. It came to a point that prescriptions are already digitized. And the support of identification of regional disease patterns for localized interventions. This can already track the cases that could be evaluated in a region and the available health human resources to prevent the spread of any communicable diseases. Timing is very important. Urgency could be a way on preventing the transmission of infection. And it is also a way of how the manpower will also be protected. We have the so-called National Data Health Momentum. The Department of Health through Secretary Herbosa have considered the DOH 8-point action agenda, and there was a digital health summit in 2024 that promotes alignment of digital health investments and unified national health strategies. Those that has been identified who could definitely execute this effectively are through our nurses. This will also encourage convergence and stakeholders to avoid fragment and siloed systems as mentioned in the unicef.org. So, how we will now consider the Philippine healthcare market opportunities. And this will be my next slide. The Philippine healthcare big data analytics market is basically expanding with growth across clinical, operational, financial, and cognitive analytics. Before, we are presenting to you the importance of technology, but now it is now accessible and available. All we need to do is how this could be analyzed in a way that it will translate into a recommendation. But this is now happening. The AI platforms could already give us specific information that will set the direction on how we will become efficient and effective. Increasing the national health expenditure of 1.444 trillion in 2024 and 17% increase from 2023. That is according to statista.com. It is somehow a reflection of a wide system-wide shift towards analytic supported healthcare delivery. Because before, we need to gather data and we need to have this analyzed. But those data and information, if with the available application, can set to a big data statistics with analysis. And this will basically attend on the proper time, which is very specific and could be measurable. And thus, this will have a realization that a realistic view of how you will definitely attend to this is through or through the nursing informatics and through the nurses who are attending to our patients. What could be the opportunities for our nurses may benefit from big data? This will set the tone that clinical decision support will be significant in preventive and in promotive and preventive aspect. Early recognition of deterioration, whenever there are pathognomonic signs, that will certainly prevent complications, risk scoring that will set prioritization, and medication alerts such as adverse reactions, such as toxicity level. The clinical decision support may help us on how we will consider our sole function on patient safety. How about workforce planning? Why the World Health Organization is setting that there is a need for almost 24 healthcare manpower for every 10,000 population. Because that will be based from the geographical perspective and on how services and facilities are available in those areas. Staffing analytics can say that we are really experiencing understaffing, or somehow we have already overstaffing in National Capital Region. Those analyses may set that most of the hospitals here in Metro Manila have already sufficient manpower, but what is lacking with the manpower are those in the regions and provinces. This could already provide opportunities for nurses to access those information and may propose a position to the legislators for the urgency, certainly on workforce priorities. Quality improvement. Quality improvement may consider specifically an assurance that we are meeting the standards. Monitoring, for example, indications such as pulse, then this could be prevented. Infection rates, which will certainly be attended through diagnostic tests, and readmissions that will prevent those patients to develop the same health problems. There are some instances patients may have hospital-acquired or nosocomial infection, or probably those patients who may have community-acquired infection and goes back to readmissions. These could be now be prevented so that there will be a connection now with the health centers and with the hospitals, and hospitals with the health centers. And I think nowadays with the universal healthcare, it is very important that we already learn from public health emergencies using predictive models so that for outbreak detection and community risk profiling. Aware tayo in FNCP. We are aware of community diagnosis for third year. However, this could be in your hands already as future healthcare professionals of using a technology driven projects that will help those communities who may not have access with these resources. And challenges to overcome. There are strategic recommendations that we may consider, such as the local government units at the national level and even global support. This may consider the challenges to overcome, specifically on limited digital infrastructures, but it is very important to consider to upgrade nursing informatics curriculum. This will consider to meet the Tiger standards. What do you mean by the Tiger standards? This will consider the global standards, include analytics, data ethics and cybersecurity. So that's why it is not just only for the use of the AI platforms, but basically we need to consider also the ethics of using these platforms and tools. So that's why even the Department of Education and the Commission on Higher Education is now taking the lead on establishing the AI policy. On the expanded training, such as the data analytics and cybersecurity, we have the continuing professional development. This could be an in-service training wherein will expand trainings on hospital information system, electronic health records, and big data tools to all healthcare workers to identify easily whenever DOH will visit hospitals, it can already identify the occupancy rate. It can identify also the highest cases of admissions. It could already identify the number of patients who have been discharged in a day, in a week, and in a month. Because I think the operations of any business such as the hospital, this will certainly have an implication on the finances, and this will have an implication as well as the reference for PhilHealth to cover the needs of those patients who are catering the services of those institutions. It is very important also to enhance the data security. Why? Because there is a need to strengthen the partnership among the Department of Health, the DICT, PhilHealth, and even in the academe to ensure national alignment in digital health and initiative. Let us consider as well that encourage research using national data sets, PhilHealth, HERDIN, and the DOH systems. These are the three important areas by which strategic recommendations can be achieved. It is also in a way that as we conclude in this session, the big data and analytics offer transformative potential for nursing in the Philippines by strengthening clinical decision making, support policy reforms. So let us support some of the trainings or reforms that will be helpful in the grassroots. This will certainly improve patient outcomes because we have identified evidence-based practice. This could be contextualized if we have already uh, realizing the potential for nursing. Continued innovation, capacity building, and national alignment will empower Filipino nurses to lead in data-driven healthcare. It is also very important that there are challenges that we need to overcome, such as limited digital infrastructure to remote areas. That is basically a reality. Skills gap among and in data literacy and analytics among practicing nurses. Fragmented data systems and varying levels of interoperability. We could definitely have the digital infrastructure, but the interoperability may not be applicable in certain areas. We're considering the cybersecurity and ethics, privacy and compliance concerns under the national data standards. As we conclude in this session, innovation lies definitely in our hands. Let us maximize how we will contribute specifically on leveraging the big data and analytics for better care in the Philippines. Better care could be best care that we could give because Filipino nurses have the enough skills. We are trainable. We are definitely open to change. We could definitely adopt and embrace the emerging landscape of healthcare even here in the Philippines and abroad. And I think we need to consider reformation as one of the core areas by which nurses will consider on how we will leverage in all that we discussed for this morning. So again, thank you for the opportunity that you have given to me to share with you my expertise in the innovation and transformation which is related to nursing informatics. Let us always remember our potential will be the key for a better health and Philippines in the future. Thank you very much and God bless everyone.